Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into a reality that's honestly completely invisible to most people outside of education, but it literally dictates the success of every single school building. We're going to explore a comprehensive mental health support system designed specifically for K-12 schools in Georgia, but we're starting somewhere you might not expect, with the leadership. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The silent administrative burden, the hidden weight of school leadership. Okay, so let's start with a reality check that speaks directly to the principals, the assistant principals, and all the administrators watching right now. Our source material kicks off with this incredibly profound acknowledgement. It's addressed to those school leaders who are still in the building tonight, long after the buses have pulled away. It recognizes a stark truth. You stay late because, well, that quiet hour in the evening is often the very first and sometimes the only hour you truly have to yourself to think, to breathe, and to actually get your own work done. And why exactly do you need that quiet hour? Because during the day, your job is essentially to be a human shock absorber for an entire community. Just think about what a typical day holds. According to the source material, you might absorb a chaotic bus incident first thing in the morning. Then you're consoling a crying first-year teacher who's totally overwhelmed. Right after that, you're navigating a uniquely difficult phone call with a student's family. And hovering over all of this like a dark cloud is an inflexible district deadline. You absorb all these intense, emotionally draining challenges daily, and the crazy expectation is that you just do it without letting it show. You're the pillar everyone else leans on. But being a pillar is exhausting. Section 2. What burnout actually looks like. Reframing the crisis. So let's redefine what burnout actually means at the administrative level, because it really doesn't always look the way we think it does. It's fascinating how our expectations completely contrast with reality here. We usually think of expected burnout as this dramatic, visible collapse, right? We look for the sudden breakdown. But the source highlights that at your level of leadership, burnout rarely looks dramatic. Instead, it's a quiet burnout. It's insidious. It looks like routine decisions suddenly taking way longer than they used to. It manifests as feeling uncharacteristically short-tempered with colleagues you actually genuinely like. It means going to bed and sleeping, but waking up without ever really resting. It's losing touch with the parts of the work you originally loved and harboring that private, quiet thought, how many more years do I actually have left in me? Section 3. Introducing MentalSpace School, a tailored lifeline for educators. Look, being the person everyone leans on is a massive responsibility, but carrying that private burden does not mean you're supposed to carry it all by yourself. And that brings us to the K-12 solution outlined in our sources, MentalSpace School. When you finally decide to seek support, the absolute last thing you want is another chore. MentalSpace School provides specialized therapists who already understand the nuances and the intense rhythm of school life. As the source material perfectly points out, this means you aren't wasting your entire first session trying to explain what a Title I federal funding audit is to someone outside of education. They speak your language from minute one. It's a real game changer. Plus, their staff wellness partnerships specifically include administrators. This isn't just for the teaching staff. They offer same-day teletherapy, which is absolutely crucial when a crisis hits. They also offer evening appointments that actually respect your demanding schedule. Remember that quiet hour we talked about earlier? Best of all, it's entirely confidential and HIPAA-compliant, ensuring total medical privacy. The source explicitly states your district is totally blind to who books these sessions. Your privacy is absolute. Section 4. Comprehensive K-12 ecosystem support for the entire school population. The crucial point here is that by securing your own wellness, you aren't just helping yourself, you're actually opening the door to supporting the entire K-12 ecosystem. When the leadership is healthy, the whole school can thrive. MentalSpace School provides a massive safety net for your students and your staff. They don't just hand you a generic 800 number. No, they provide dedicated therapist teams assigned specifically to your school, which means your community gets real continuity of care. The program covers severe needs like crisis intervention, as well as critical proactive measures like suicide and violence prevention. And because they know a student's environment doesn't just magically end at the school doors, they also offer family counseling. It's also vital to note how this care is actually delivered. The source material emphasizes that services are provided by diverse, fully licensed therapists offering culturally competent care. This ensures the mental health support really reflects and resonates with the wonderfully diverse student populations found in today's Georgia schools. Now, we all know the biggest barrier to mental health care is usually the cost. Well, MentalSpace School addresses this head on to ensure incredible accessibility. They accept a remarkably wide array of insurance providers. We're talking major commercial carriers like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, Aetna, United Healthcare, and Humana. Crucially, they also cover state programs like Peach State, CareSource, and Amerigroup. And perhaps most importantly, for ensuring equitable access across your entire student body, they accept Medicaid. This means care is provided at literally $0 out of pocket for those students. This is a massive win for schools and families. Section 5. Measurable Outcomes and Compliance. Proven Results and Legal Requirements. Okay, we've seen the human side of the support, but in school administration, you also have to deal with cold, hard data and district mandates, right? Let's look at the systemic solutions. From day one, the program aligns with FERPA and HIPAA to protect student educational and medical data. But looking ahead on the timeline, having this comprehensive support system in place specifically aids your school in meeting the critical Georgia HB 268 state mental health mandates, and those are rapidly approaching in July 2026. This partnership basically turns a looming administrative headache into a completely solved problem. But what about the students themselves? The outcome data provided in the sources is just undeniably powerful. It starts with this massive figure, an 89% improvement in student attendance. Think about that. When kids actually feel mentally supported and secure, they show up to school. Furthermore, schools utilizing the MentalSpace system see an incredible 92% reduction in student anxiety. Just imagine what a classroom feels like and how much more effective your teachers can be when ambient student anxiety drops by over 90%. It's huge. Rounding out this track record of success is an 85% family satisfaction rate. This vividly proves that the positive impacts of this mental health ecosystem don't just stay locked inside the school building. They radiate outward, improving the home environment and really strengthening the school's relationship with its community. So we've seen how this comprehensive ecosystem solves district compliance mandates and thoroughly supports your K-12 students. But as we wrap up, we have to bring this explanator back to the single most important element of a successful school: you, the leader. Section 6. Taking care of yourself. The final step. If you're an administrator watching this and you found yourself nodding along or feeling seen by those earlier slides describing quiet burnout, you can easily connect with them today. You can visit mentalspacesschool.com or reach out directly at mentalspacesschool@cheechtherapy.com to explore bringing this vital resource not just to your school's ecosystem, but to yourself. I want to leave you with this final critical thought, taken directly from the source text. As a school leader, you spent your entire day making sure that the crying teacher, the anxious student, and the frustrated parent all had someone to support them. You made sure everyone had someone today. So will you take 5 minutes right now to do it for yourself?